I'm Grania. I was born and brought up in the west of Ireland in Mayo, and I'm living over here now in Kildare the last number of years. In 2008, December of 2008, I was diagnosed with MS. It was a shock to the system when I was diagnosed. I remember now I was very, very lucky because I've met loads of people since with it, and they've all waited months and years for a diagnosis where they've been misdiagnosed or doctors just didn't know what was going on with them and they didn't know what was going on themselves. So I was very lucky. From the very first symptom I displayed to being diagnosed in the hospital that day, I was 2 weeks, which is a very short frame of time. Very lucky. But I remember, I can still picture it as if it was yesterday. I remember the doctor being there and telling me, and all I could picture straight away was the MS readathon that we used to do in school when we were kids, and wheelchairs, and that's it. I thought I was going to end up in a wheelchair. The next day I was going to leave the hospital in a wheelchair. I was going to be wheeled out there. So it was a big shock, and you hear people saying like it's not a death sentence. It's not a death sentence, but that's, you just get such a shock when you're told first. And I just presumed and just thought everybody was in a wheelchair. If you had MS, it equaled you having a wheelchair, and that was it. That was your life then, just rolling around in a wheelchair. But it's not like that at all. Now it is for some, and there's 3 different types of MS. I have the one which they call remitting relapsing. So you relapse and you go into remission and so on. So at the minute I'm mostly in remission. You get symptoms, but haven't had a relapse in a long time. But you do have symptoms that you have to live with every day. But it's not as scary. So when I look back to the news I got that day and how I felt that day, looking back, it's not as scary, and I wish I knew then what I know now. But we all say that about life. It's if only I knew then what I know now. But if I could talk to myself back then on that day, I'd have a lot to say. Just that it's not the death sentence that you think it's going to be. Your life isn't going to end. It's just like I've done more things now since I got it than I would have planned beforehand. Maybe like, hi, can I always say that in the back of my head that I did that someday? And then when I was diagnosed, I just suddenly thought, right, I need to use my legs while they still work, because the day will come when they might not work. And I just haven't looked back since. I've just gone everywhere with it.